film once they started making the film and entering a completely different world, and I literally took a year off from my record. My record was halfway done, and I put it like on a shelf and dove into the woods, started collaborating, but taking that exact same feeling and when I'm writing a song and like the movement and atmosphere and making a song, and working with, instead of say a drummer, working with a director who knows the language and the references and the mechanics of visual storytelling, and like merging, and like me continuing to return in the same way that I would arrange a song or that I would want a drummer to play. We did that all with just the visuals. So we basically built a half-hour film projecting the same way I would have made a song, basically, but completely different parts. And then once the film was made, then we made the music for the film in a completely different way than I've ever made a song. So the film then dictated the music in the film. So we went to Joshua Tree, to a small home studio, and projected the already edited film on a sheet, and just spent 3 days layering upon layering. And then similar to what I do in my records, I layer and layer, and then when I go into the mixing studio, I sort of like mix it up and down, bring things in, fly things in where it needs a cue. So it's a very weird mix of music sentimentality, music sensibility, making music sensibility, and film. But also maybe what you're talking about, like did you say the power of music? What did you? The meaning of music? Yes, so the universal language of music, maybe that's what you're talking about? Maybe because that's, why I chose music as my primary one at a very primary language at a very young age, is because I do think it is the universal language, and that it invokes that feeling. Everything I'm even talking about intellectually in these songs, these stories, it's literally like inviting you to leave this to go to leave the mind to go to the feeling. And I think that music is the #1 feeling language, and it's rhythms and melodies, and you don't need words, or even if there is words, you don't need to know what they mean. You can just hear a tone in the voice, and that will give you enough. So, like for example, in the travels I've done with this film, and I in these kinds of discussions, which are very fun for me because I like to hear other people's perspective of the film and music merging, but one of the questions I was asked at another screening was, okay, like now that I've dabbled, worked in film or collaborated with an illustrator for the comic book, and then, worked in the studio for the record, etc. He's like, at the end of the day, if you had to pick one, what would I pick? It would be music. I mean, that would be the one. It's the most direct to connect.